Hey. Hey y'all, it's Ayanna. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on all my socials at _ringbells on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Y'all, we are so close to 1,000 subscribers, so I appreciate y'all. Make sure to just keep running those numbers up for me, repost, reshare, and I'm even thinking about doing like a giveaway once we hit 1,000. So yeah. And y'all, before we even jump into today's story time, side note, on a more serious note, right? I'm gonna make it quick. If anything that I'm saying in any of my stories are triggering to you, aggravating you, annoying you, irritating you to the point where you're internalizing it and it's causing you to write hate pieces in my comments, please don't do that. I'm not saying this to be mean because, like I told y'all, I welcome, the criticisms and everything, but I have no control over things that I did when I was 14, 15. A lot of these stories, y'all, like I told y'all, are from when I was in middle school, high school. I don't have no control over them. This is just for entertainment. I want y'all to laugh with me, cry with me, be mad with me. But if you feel as though it's making you mad to an unhealthy point and you're projecting in my comments, I don't really want y'all to do that, and I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm just saying because it's just not healthy for you. Like I said, this already happened. I already went through the motions of these stories and I don't have any control over what I did or how anything played out. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, just keep that in mind, as you guys continue to watch and as we continue to grow. I want you guys to be entertained and happy to be here and excited for when I post stories. I don't want you guys to be upset or looking to listen to my stories to find something to be mad about. That's not what this is. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So yeah, y'all, without further ado, we're going to get into today's story. So as you can tell by the title, this is a story time about like my spooky season Halloween night because it's the perfect season, right? I told y'all I was going to try to get y'all out some more scary stories, and this was one that I remember so vividly, but sort of kind of. So we'll see. And I'm going to try to get this video out to y'all. It's going to be a little late. It's going to be like, I'm recording this now. It's 9 o'clock, y'all. So I still got to edit and everything, but I'm going to try to get this out to y'all. It's really going to be lately. It might be like midnight type, but it is what it is. And just because y'all been rocking with me, and like I said, we're so close to 1,000, I'm going to try to get y'all story time out tomorrow and Friday. I know. You're welcome. But yeah, y'all, let's jump right in. All right, so you already know, gotta give y'all the background, gotta set the scene. So y'all, this story takes place, I was in high school, I was a sophomore, and it was Halloween weekend. And it was one of those weekends where Halloween fell on like that Friday or that Saturday, right? So I got out of school at like 3 o'clock. Now, I was in school with my best friend at the time. We'll name her Jasmine. So Jasmine's family had left. She was Hispanic, so her family had left to go back to their country, so she had the free. Y'all that know, the free means, what does the free mean, y'all? The free means a free crib. You don't got nobody there, no parents, no older siblings, nobody really there to cramp your style. I don't know what the kids is calling it these days. But yeah, so she had the free, so she was like, oh, do you want to come over? So I'm like, yeah, like, what you want to do? She was like, I don't know, like, we could just order food, watch movies and stuff. I don't know what Sabrina's doing. Sabrina is her older sister. Her older sister was a year older than us, so at the time she was a junior while we were sophomores. So she was like, yeah, I don't know if Sabrina's gonna be, around or not. She might go to a party or something, but if you want to come over, I don't really want to be in the house by myself. So I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. So y'all, we make it through our day or whatever, and we get out of school. It wasn't like dark, but y'all know, like daylight savings and everything, it started slowly getting really dark, like sort of kind of getting dark out. But it was like, y'all know, what movie is that? Halloween with Michael Myers, how it's obviously always around like the fall, clearly, and how you see the leaves rustling, like the wind howling a little bit. Like, I really like that. Like, it's just perfect to me. So that's how it was when we got out of school. So, everybody's walking home. You got people that dressed up for school, acting crazy and stuff, just happy to get into the weekend. So, we walk. Her house was maybe like a cool 10-minute walk from the school. So we get to the house or whatever. We go inside. We roll up. And yeah, don't judge me, y'all. I was smoking trees in high school. But yeah, so we get inside and she was like, what you want to eat? So I'm like, okay, we could order pizza or something. So as we're about to order pizza, her sister Sabrina walks in. So she was like, oh, hey, Ayanna, I didn't know you was going to be here. So I was like, yeah, Jasmine said she didn't want to, be here by herself over the weekend. So I'm going to stay. Now, mind you, y'all, they lived there with their older brother, their mom, their uncle, and their grandmother. They all had left to go back to their home country, and it was just Jasmine and Sabrina there. So I was like, all right, bet, like, I'm cool. So she was like, oh, y'all about to order food? Like, I want to order too. So she was like, what y'all about to do? We was like, we about to watch movies. So we were like, okay, cool. So we ordered food from this pizza spot up the street. They was going to deliver it. We were like, okay, cool. Food comes. We still, like I said, smoking, chilling. And we started watching Scream. And y'all, comment down below and tell me who's your favorite horror movie villain. Is it Jigsaw, Jeepers Creepers, Michael Myers? Who else? Freddy Krueger? You know, comment down below and let me know. But yeah, y'all, so we started watching Scream from the beginning. Now, as the night was going on, it got obviously really dark outside, and the entire house at this point was dark. We were in the living room, only could see the TV light and the light from like our phones or whatever. At this point, I want to say honestly, it was like maybe 10 o'clock at night when Sabrina gets a phone call. So she gets a call, and we'll name him Nick. Now, Nick went to school with us. Nick was a senior. So they had always, you know, been cool. They grew up together and everything. So he was like, oh, what you doing? And she was like, oh, nothing. I'm chilling over here with Jasmine and Ayanna. We over here watching scary movies, eating. And he was like, oh, aren't y'all cute? He was like, well, do y'all want to match? So she was like, yeah. So she's like, let me ask them. So obviously she asked us, and we're like, yeah, sure, you know, we could do something, get out the house. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna come get y'all. So we like, okay, cool. So we go in the room. Jasmine gives me a pair of like leggings, a hoodie. I had like my own little Uggs or whatever. So I'm like, okay, bet, we outside. So he comes and gets us like maybe 10-15 minutes later, asking us, you know, how we doing, how, you know, school was, you know, just regular conversation. We pull up to his house and we go inside, and he lived there with his parents, but he lived like all the way up in the attic. So we go all the way upstairs, and we'll name his other friend Drew. Drew was a junior along with Sabrina. So he's in there. He's like, oh, what's up, y'all? Da, da, da. So we like, nothing. So we sit down. They playing, I think they was playing a game or something. So we smoking, we chilling. And now Drew is like, well, what y'all want to do tonight? So Sabrina's like, what you talking about, like going to a party? Jasmine's like, what you talking about, going to like a haunted house, a haunted hayride? He was like, nah, like let's do something else. Like I want to do something like real scary. So I'm like, and y'all, if y'all know, even though I love scary movies, y'all, I don't try to put myself in scary movie situations, because what? So I'm sitting there a little quiet. I'm like, So then Nick is like, yeah, like what you got in mind? So he's like, y'all ever heard of Camp Crystal Lake? Now, y'all, before I get into it, comment down below and tell me, if you're a real horror movie fanatic like me, what is Camp Crystal Lake from? What movie? What movie franchise? Okay. So he's like, oh, let's do Camp Crystal Lake. Now, mind y'all, if you know, like I said, I went to school, I'm from Jersey. So they did have a Camp Crystal Lake. I don't even know what it's called now. I think it's like called like Lake Peekaboo, Pika something, because I think they changed the name because it was like a tourist attraction, because everybody thought that it was the real Camp Crystal Lake with Jason, Friday the 13th. Yeah, if you got it right, you know, points for you. But yeah, so he's like, let's go there. And I think, y'all, that camp from where we lived was literally like 2 hours away, like in South Jersey, I think. So we looking it up, and I'm like, boy, that's 2 hours away. Like, we're not about to drive 2 hours down there. It's already like 10 o'clock. By the time we get down there, it's gonna be 12. By the time we get home, it's gonna be 2. He's like, so what? Like, we could like sneak onto the campgrounds and like walk through. And I'm like, no. Because even though, y'all, I obviously don't believe Jason is real, but it's Halloween time. And you might have a crazy psycho out there that might wanna, you know, connect with his inner Jason or something and be out there in a hockey mask trying to kill us. I don't got time for that. So Nick was like, yeah, nah, bro, like that's mad far. And mind you, Nick was the one with the car. So he was like, I'm not driving all the way down here. Da, da, da. So he was like, all right, like let's think of something else, right? So the next thing you know, Nick goes, oh, you know where we should take them? You know where we should take them? So Drew was like, where? He was like, the Devil's Tree. Now, I heard of the Devil's Tree at the time, but not really. Now, y'all, I'll put a picture somewhere here. So Jasmine heard of it too, but not really. So she was like, well, what's really the Devil's Tree? Devil's Tree was maybe like 30 minutes or so from where we live. So he was like, no, it's this tree. It sits out in this field. He's like, it's creepy. He's like, because it has like these weird branches and everything. And y'all, it never snowed. Like if it snowed, if it would snow, it would never like land on the tree. Isn't that weird? Like it would snow, but like the tree would never be covered in snow. Like have you go outside and it's snowing, your branches, everything is filled. That tree would never hold snow. And then like the base of the tree it would be no snow. It would be snow like in the field, but not like directly around the tree. I didn't know what that was, but I had always knew that. So he was like, yeah, we can go there, we can go there. So Jasmine's like, well, why is it supposed to be like creepy? Like, how is that supposed to be scary? So then Sabrina's like, right. And he was like, no. He was like, because legend has it. Y'all know. He's saying it like it's like a campfire story. So he was like, well, legend has it. He was like that if you go to this tree and like you try to either cut it down or you disrespect it, say something mean about it, urinate or something on the tree. They were like, they say that when you're trying to leave, you're either going to get into an accident or you're going to get unalive somehow on that road as you leave out, or your car is going to have like major car troubles or something. So we're like, yeah, right. Again, y'all, urban legend. So he's like, I'm telling y'all. So he starts telling the story. He was like, y'all didn't hear about those kids from like 20 years ago. And I'm like, boy. He was like, nah, like, I'm serious. He was like, these kids, he was like, it was like 4 of them. It was like their prom night, and they went out there to that tree, and one of the guys, he's like, I think they TP'd it with like tissue paper and stuff. He's like, they TP'd the tree. He said they were out there drinking, they were chilling. He said, I kid y'all not, when they was leaving, got in the car to leave, he said their car flipped like 4 or 5 times and got caught on fire. So I'm saying her like, well, why? Like, y'all, I was sitting there Googling it. Like, why I don't see it? Why I don't see it? He's like, why would they tell you that? Like, why would they? They're not going to put that on Google. It's a legend. Like, it was like, it's a ghost story. Like, it happened though. It happened though. I'm like, we all like, okay, Nick, like, all right. So Drew was like, nah, like, if y'all not scared, then let's go. Then let's go. Like, if y'all saying it's not that serious, then let's go. So Sabrina's like, all right, cool, like, let's just finish smoking our trees. So y'all, we matched and everything, and at this point it was like 11:30, 12 o'clock in the morning. We was just laughing and talking, talking about scary movies and everything like that. And then they were like, okay, bet, let's be out. Yo, we go outside. Like I said, it's pitch black, and it wasn't like it was trick-or-treater time, because ain't no kids out at no 12, 1 o'clock, sort of kind of in the morning. So it was just like a quiet, we lived in like a quiet town, so his street was like completely just dark and quiet, and you had like the orange street lights. It was drizzling, like I said, the wind, and I'm trying to give y'all the background so y'all can really set the scene in your head. But like the wind was blowing, you saw the leaves rustling on the ground, just really quiet. So we come out, we get in the car, Nick's driving, Drew's in the front seat, and then I'm in the middle. Then you got Jasmine and Sabrina next to me. So we making our way. Boom, boom, boom. We making our way out to the tree. Like I said, it was about a cool 30 minutes away. Now, y'all, as we're making our way, we're not seeing many cars, right? Like, there's not many people around, and you would think like people would be out, but I feel like obviously at that time you're going to be wherever you're going to be for the night, or if you're somewhere at a party, obviously the party probably just got started. You're not going to be leaving until 1 or 2 in the morning anyway. So I'm like, okay. So we're in the car, and we listen to music. We're not even thinking about nothing crazy. But as we get closer to the location of the tree, Nick turns the music down, and you can just see, y'all, like the scenery change. And that's when I'm telling this story, y'all, I be getting anxiety because it scared me. But you just see the scenery change, right? It was already dark, but like now it's like as we got closer to the tree, like we're looking at his GPS, we were like 7 minutes away. You just see these trees, like how like you have like these really tall type trees, but like they droop down, it seemed like, into the street. Now mind you, as we're going, it wasn't like really a main highway that we were taking to get there. It was like back roads and stuff to get to like this big old field to where this tree was. So when you're coming down the street, y'all know those streets where it's like one way going, one way coming, like it's just like that with the yellow lines in the middle. And then you had these huge line of trees that just drooped down over this road that made it look extra scary. You get what I'm saying? And there was no lights on this road. It was just your headlights. So I'm sitting there, I'm getting a little creeped out. You can see I'm looking at Jasmine. Jasmine's like, Y'all, we finally get there. We get up to this tree. Now, mind you, couldn't really see the tree because where you had to park at, you couldn't like park like up on the field. So they had like a little road. So like I said, we're on the road, but it wasn't like a parking lot or anything. So you had the road, but then you had like this big old field, and the tree sat out like maybe 50 feet out into the middle of the field. So we had to walk a little ways. So he pulls over, he parks, we see like the silhouette of the tree, but like, y'all, it was foggy, it was dark, it was drizzling, like I said. So the tree was huge, but you could only see, like I said, like the silhouette of like the weird branches, like the curvy branches that stuck out like through the fog. But everything else, like you couldn't see like the base of the tree, the trunk of the tree, you couldn't see anything. So we park, he parks, and they're like, okay, what y'all want to do? Y'all ready to get out? So I'm like, no. I was like, no, I'm not getting out. I was like, y'all could go. And y'all, at the time, maybe some of y'all probably like, girl, you was probably paranoid because of the trees. Probably. I probably was. And again, y'all, I was 15, 16. I don't even think I was 16. I think I was like 15. I don't even remember. I don't remember because obviously my birthday's in January, so I think I was turning 16 like that next year. So I'm like, no, I'm not getting out. So Jasmine's like, yeah, me neither. So Sabrina's like, oh, y'all being punks. Like, come on, Nick, come on, Drew, like, we gonna go. So they like, okay. So she gets out. Now, mind you, she was sitting behind Nick behind the driver's side. So she gets out her way and she walks around the back of the car to get onto the side of where the field is. Now, Drew gets out and he turns around to us and he's like, y'all really not gonna get out? And we like, no, have fun. So he's like, okay, lock the doors, trying to scare us, but y'all was scared. I was scared. So he was like, okay, lock the doors. So we like, yeah, don't worry, we will. And they start walking. Now, y'all, the fog was so thick that it seemed like as soon as they walked like 5 or 10 feet, you didn't see them anymore. They disappeared into the fog. And I'm like, So me and Jasmine's like, I don't even know why we decided to come out here. I don't even know how we allowed them to talk us into coming out here. She's like, I didn't think it was going to be like this. She's like, it's mad scary out here. Y'all, we looking around. You can't see anything. The car is like, it's just foggy. You can literally see like I said, maybe 5 feet in each direction out each window. So I'm like, okay, so y'all, we were just on our phones, we talking. Like, he left the car on, but he left it, like I said, we locked the doors. And next 10 minutes had went by. They didn't come back. They didn't try to come get us. They wasn't calling us like, y'all, ain't nothing over here. Like, come on, nothing. So Jasmine's like, you know what, let me call Sabrina. So she calls her sister. She does not answer the phone. Yeah. So she's like, you know what, do you want to just go get them? I'm like, girl, no, like, we could just wait for them. She's like, come on, Ayanna, like, we don't want to just sit in the car. Like, it's probably not even nothing. Like, come on. She's like, we could just lock arms or something and just like walk together. So I'm like, okay, y'all, we get out this car. She opens her door. We get out the car. We turn the car off, grabbed his keys. We close the back door, lock the door. We start walking. Now we're walking into the field. I kid y'all not, while we hear a tree branch crack, like a snap, y'all know how the tree branch is, like you stepping on leaves or something, you can hear the branch crack. We both turned around so fast, like, she was like, you heard that? Yeah, I heard that. What you mean, did I hear that? She was like, I'm getting back in the car. Come on. Y'all, while we run back to the car, we didn't get that far. Got right back in the car, locked the doors again. Sitting in the car, she was like, yo, what was that? Like, it was nobody out here. She was like, it's not, y'all, it was no cars there. It was nobody there. You don't even see any real houses. Like, where this field was, the first house had to be like maybe 2 miles down the road. Like, there was nobody out there. I don't know what the hell we were doing out there. It was no houses or nothing. So who would be out there randomly walking? So I'm like, it could be a dog or anything. She's like, that's even worse. We don't need to be out here. So I'm like, all right, come on. So y'all, like another 10-15 minutes had went by. They still were not answering. They still hadn't come back yet. So I'm like, they ain't coming to check on us. We ain't going to check on them. So she's like, come on, let's go again. So I'm like, all right. So we do the same thing, get out the car, lock it. And now we locked arms, y'all, like close, walking slowly through this fog. And you can see like the tree coming more into like clarity, I guess you could say. So you see the tree, opening up more. And I kid y'all not, it's like we heard like a weird voice. It was like a like it sounded like that. It sounded really creepy. And again, I snapped my head back and she was like, come on, Ayanna, you're just being paranoid. You're being paranoid. I'm like, you act like you didn't hear that. There's nobody out here. I know what I heard. And I feel like she knew what she heard, y'all, but she just didn't want to say it. So we just started running. She's like, okay, we just gonna run straight. We running. We finally see Nick, Drew, and Sabrina. They over there just smoking trees, y'all. Smoking trees by the devil's tree, just sitting on the ground, just smoking, chilling. So we like, okay. So we see them and they like, dang, it took y'all long enough. Like, what y'all was doing scared? We swear to God, we heard somebody laughing. We heard somebody, like a tree branch break. And they were like, ain't nobody out here. Like, y'all see, but the tree was so creepy. Like, it was very creepy up close. Like, it just, and you never, and I don't know if you guys are like into like certain things, but you know how like you can walk into a situation or walk into a room and you can feel a presence or like feel like some type of tension or some type of weird energy. It wasn't giving this was an urban legend, this was a haunted. It was really giving haunted. So I'm like, I don't know. I just had like a weird eerie feeling wash over me and I just felt uncomfortable. So he was like, y'all ready to go? So we like, yeah. Now mind you, Drew is like, oh, I gotta take a leak. So Sabrina's like, why would you take a leak after you just told us the story about how if, this tree, if you mess it up, if you disrespect it in any way, if you talk about it, if you piss on it, something bad had happened. He's like, that's just a story. That's just a story. We're like, okay, this boy pees on the tree, right? We out there, we just talking, we laughing for a little bit. Nothing, crazy, but it was still spooky because there was nothing around, y'all. Like, it was just like the silence was so loud, which is even more scary. So I want to say like maybe half hour or so goes by. We was just really out there. It was cool, but it wasn't like super crazy because you high, whatever. So next at this point, y'all, it literally was like 1:15 or so, 1:30 in the morning. And I'm like, okay, y'all, let's go. So they're like, okay, y'all, we start making our way back to the car. Why we hear another tree branch break, but this time it was coming from the direction of the tree. So now the tree's behind us, we're walking, you hear a tree branch break. So we all turn around, we don't see nothing. But at that point, Nick was like, y'all heard that? Oh, now y'all hearing stuff. When we told y'all talking about, y'all paranoid, y'all scared. Y'all, why all of us take off running to this car? Y'all, we take off running to this car. We get in the car. Nick is like, okay, lock the doors. So he's turning the car on. He's like, all right, we about to get up out of here. Like, he's like, I don't know. Maybe I am a little paranoid. So he turns the car on, y'all, right? Why is check engine light on? Check engine light was not on. Check engine light was not on this entire ride here. His check engine light came on to the point where even he was like, what the like, why is my check engine light on? Drew was like, what you mean your check engine light is on? He was like, look. And Drew was like, bro, like, so Sabrina's freaking out. So she's like, why would you piss on the tree? Like, why would you do that? She was like, and you were smoking, you were throwing the roaches and stuff on the tree. Like, she's panicking. Like, now she's freaking out because she's like, what if we get stranded out here? Jasmine starts crying. Jasmine starts crying. And she's like, I want to go home. Like, we shouldn't even came out here. Like, da-da-da-da. Like, this is the perfect scene for a horror movie if there ever was one. And I'm trying to make light of it because I'm like, yeah, me being the only black person. Y'all know how the scary movies like to do us. And y'all, side note, disclaimer, they were all Hispanic. Like, I think Nick was from Honduras and Drew might have been from, don't give me the line, y'all, because I definitely think they were from Honduras, and Sabrina and Jasmine are, I think, from like Guatemala or something, or Ecuador. Nicaragua. I don't really remember. I believe it was Nicaragua, but they were all from different countries. So I'm like, I'm the black person. I'm gonna catch it. But I'm still trying to, like, ease the mood because, like I said, Jasmine really started, like, crying. She's like, let's just get out of here. So he starts the car turned on. So he starts driving down the road or whatever, right? So he's trying to make light of it. He's like, y'all scary. Like, we gonna get out of here. Y'all, this road, like I said, before movies looking at the GPS coming in, it was 7 minutes. But let's go with, like, it's a 10-minute ride down this road before you get into, like, you see more houses and more residential streets and stuff. This was just a dark, long road. He was like, oh, I'm about to play with y'all. I'm going to turn the lights off like in the scary movies. Like when you drive and turn the lights off and turn it back on. I'm going to turn the lights off and turn it back on. And we like, why are you doing that? Isn't your check engine light on? Why are you playing out here? Because if we get stranded out here, like, I'm not trying to even find out what is going to happen if we get stranded out here. Y'all, as he decides to turn the light off, right? Sabrina's like, why would you do that? Stop playing. Y'all, we just see lights behind us. There was nobody out there. It's no houses, y'all. We see lights behind us. So me, Sabrina, Jasmine, we turning around to look in the rear view, like behind obviously the back windshield. It's like a big truck. I'll tell y'all later on, but it was a F-150. But it was like a big truck. And like I said, Nick drove at like a Honda. And like I said, his Honda was probably like a 2005 or 2006. It was like a hoopty. So your car wasn't out beating that, that truck. But the truck, it was weird because it would come up fast. Like you could hear it coming up fast. Y'all remember the He Chased Me Home story time when I said I peeked that the guy was behind me chasing me? That's how it was. Like the car was coming up fast, but then it would stop. It was very weird. It would be like fast and then pull back slowly. and then fast, and then pull back slowly. So now Nick is like, I'm about to just gun it. I'm about to just gun it. So he tries to put the pedal to the metal, y'all. He's driving, but at the same time, he was like, oh, they fell back. They fell back. They're not even, I don't even see them anymore. Those lights mad far back. So now he's driving regular pace again. We probably got another 6 or so minutes on this road until we see civilization. Y'all, he wants to play again. He wants to play again. He turns the light off. Turns it back on. All of us in our court cursing him out, and he just finds it so funny. I don't know why people be thinking putting people's lives in danger is funny. I don't know. But y'all, after the last time, he turns this light off. He kept it off for a cool 10 seconds, but he wasn't driving anymore. He had like stopped the car on this desolate, dark road with these creepy trees, and he turns the light off. Y'all probably not even gonna believe me. He turned the light back on. It was a person standing in front of the car. Like, not in front of the car, but like, y'all know in the scary movies how you have the car and you have a little bit of road. Like, here's the car, you have a little bit of road. The person was standing right here with like a big brick of wood in his hand with a knapsack over his head with the eyes cut out. Like, what's that movie? Y'all, what's that movie? Comment down below. Tell me if y'all know that movie I'm talking about. Obviously, I'm going to put a picture up here if I can remember it. But it's a scary movie. They had the naps. I can't think of it. If y'all know, comment down below. But this person was standing there, y'all, with a brick, like a brick of plywood in his hand, just standing there with this sack over his head. We started screaming. Everybody in the car started screaming to the point where Drew was like, hit him, just run him over. I'm like, please don't do that. We all going to jail. So he wasn't standing like right in the middle of the yellow lines, but he was standing like in the lane, like obviously in our way. So Nick is like, turned the lights on. He's beeping at him. The person was not moving. I don't know if it was a figment of my imagination. Clearly it wasn't, because we all saw him. I don't know, if people know the legend of the tree and they probably saw us go, and maybe he's working with the guys that was chasing us. But y'all, during all of this, he's beeping the horn. All you hear is coming up fast. Like, you hear it. So we turn around. That truck is back behind us. So now we got this creepy person in the front. We're sitting here. His check engine light is on. And now you have this truck coming up mad quick. Now, the truck wasn't slowing down at this point. So Nick was like, I'm about to just swerve around him. So he swerves around. The guy like just pulled around him, and he kept going. The person didn't move. Now, obviously, it's dark, and I'm assuming the truck that was coming up moved around him, or the guy I don't know. But we didn't even think twice. He just put the pedal to the metal. I think he had to be doing at least 120 until we got out of there, y'all, right? We get out of there. I want to say we kind of lost the truck. We didn't see him anymore for like a while. Like, we just really didn't see him anymore. Next thing you know, we probably like maybe a cool 15-ish, I want to say 15 minutes away from the crib. And Drew was like, that was crazy. Like, we should go get something to eat. So Jasmine's like, I just want to go home.
Come on, keep walking. Go home.
We could eat up. She was like, we could warm up some of the pizza we still had in the house. Like, I want to go home. So her sister's like, no, Jasmine, like, let's go out to eat. Like, we lit off a tree. So like, I wanna go eat. Like, I don't want that, cold pizza. So she was like, oh boy, okay. Y'all, so we decided on the diner. That in this diner was like popular or whatever. So we pull up to this diner. Nobody's really out there at the diner. Like I said, it's Halloween night. People could be booed up at a party, who knows? But it was nobody really at this diner. You had a couple of cars, which we were assuming obviously belonged to the workers. Y'all, we go inside this diner. We sitting down. We trying to just laugh and talk about everything that just happened, but we're like creeped out at the same time, but laughing at the same time. Y'all, the waitress comes over, a little old lady. She, takes our order and stuff. And okay, cool. She takes our order. I think she just took our drinks though. She didn't take like our food order yet. She just came, took our drinks. She walks away. Why did this F-150 pull into the lot? But the lights weren't on. Like, their headlights weren't on. They didn't have any lights on. It was like a charcoal gray F-150, and it was like matte, and it had tinted windows. Never forget it. And it wasn't like one of those upgraded F-150s. It was like given, I don't know, like early 2000s like pickup truck type, but it just looked creepy. And it pulled into the lot. Now, mind you, it pulled into the lot, and it pulled right in front of like, so you know how like you guys have a diner? The diner was like right off of a main highway. So you know, we're sitting in the booth. So, you know, you have the three of us on this side, and you had them two on that side. Obviously, the three girls, and you had the two boys. But you had the window right here. The front window faced the highway, like parallel to the highway. So there were spots in front of this window. This truck pulls in and pulls right here. So like his headlights, if he had them on, would have beamed right through the window while we were sitting there. So we're looking, and I'm like, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna say it. Jasmine's like, nope, nope, I think it is. I think it is. That is the truck that was behind us. That is the truck that was behind us. So she starts having a panic attack. So she's like freaking out. And I know y'all probably like, girl, no. She started freaking out. So Sabrina was like, what the hell? Like, are they following us? Like, what happened? Da, 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 da. So Drew was like, well, I'm about to go outside and say something. I'm like, don't go outside. Like, you don't know who's, you know, y'all, my crazy mind, I'm like, you don't even know if it's a person in that truck. It could be something like Jeepers Creepers. That's why I said, like, y'all, I be thinking my scary movies be in my head. So I'm like, Jeepers Creepers was a demon driving a damn dump truck or whatever, that garbage truck or whatever it was. He couldn't drive. You don't know what's in that truck. So I was like, let's just stay here. Like, I was like, maybe we'll see who comes in, right? So they're like, okay, lady comes back. She brings us our drinks. We go order our food. Brings our food. Nobody got out this truck, y'all. Y'all, nobody got out this truck. It was, time was moving. And we done ate, laughed, talked. We kept looking over, you know, trying to think about it, trying not to think about it, but nobody ever got out of that truck. Nobody ever got out of that truck, y'all. And I keep saying it because that was the craziest thing, because I think they followed us. I definitely think they followed us, and maybe they stayed away like enough so that way we couldn't really peep that they were behind us, even though they could see us. Because obviously, like I said, their lights were off. I don't know how you driving around at night. People are just crazy. So we're like, okay, we get the check or whatever. So at this point, Jasmine's like, I'm scared to go outside. So they're like, ain't nothing gonna happen to you. Like, we all together. Like, we all together. It's five of us. Like, it's five of us. Like, we'll be cool. And where we parked at, we parked on the side. So we still have to walk out because that's the front. And then we have to make a left to go down these little stairs to go around. I don't know why we even parked over there. I don't know why we didn't park right in the front. Anyway, so we coming outside. The truck is still there. Truck's running. Lights off. Nobody is getting out the truck. So we study looking at the truck. We just start speed walking to the car. So Nick is like, all right. So he hurry up. He locks the doors. Now I started sensing like it's different. Like when you're girls and you're with men, you know, you're with boys or whatever, and they're like playing around, or they don't take it that seriously. But when they started panicking and they started getting a little scared, that's when I feel like the real panic started setting in, because it was really giving horror movie. Like, I'm going to be unalive tonight. It was giving stalker. I don't know what it was. So he was like, all right, like, y'all, he was like, as soon as I start this car, he was like, I am going to book it. Like, I don't even care if we get pulled over. I'm going to be flying down this highway, and I'm going to just bust a right. He was like, I'm going to take one of the little back exits, and we are really going to get low. So we're like, okay. So, excuse me, my bad. So, yeah, so he's like, I'm going to just book it. So we're like, okay, cool. Y'all, he backs out of this spot. Got his lights on. He pulls up to, like, the entrance way to get in to make the right onto the highway. And y'all, the way it was, you know how you have the highways that has like 2 lanes and they all going this way, and you have the medium divider in the middle and the lanes going the opposite direction. So he had to turn out, and he had to make a right to go back to where we lived. And if we needed to go the other way, you know, you have to go around the medium, whatever. So he, as soon as he saw that nothing was coming, he immediately took off. Why, as soon as we took off, we saw the truck backing out to get onto the highway? Y'all. So he's like literally speeding as fast as his little hoopty would take him. He was speeding like Paul Walker racing, and he hurry up and goes. Y'all, the truck lights came on, speeding. You could just see it coming up mad fast. So he was like, all right, hold on, y'all. He hurry ups and turns down one of these, and if you know, you know. If you know what highway I'm talking about, what diner I'm talking about, you know. But he hurried up and he made a left down one of these little exit ramps, and he just took the little back ways home. And like, now we were like closer to our town, so he took the little back way roads, and we really got like low like. And I'm pretty sure if that person didn't know where they were at, they wouldn't know like where exactly to go. But we were familiar with the area. So we took that little exit route, and we got low. We just didn't see the truck or anything anymore. And we finally made it back to Sabrina and Jasmine's house. We pulled in, turned the lights off, and we all were just sitting there for a second, like literally like hearts racing, panicking. And we were just like, what even was that? So then it was crazy, because Drew was like, yo, Ayanna, what if you were right? He was like, what if it was nobody even in there? What if it was like a ghost or something? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. So we get there. So then we about to go in the house. So they're like, okay, well, we'll see y'all later. So then Sabrina's like, can y'all just stay? She was like, ain't nobody here. Like, can y'all just stay in the living room or something? And they were like, yeah, okay, that's fine. The more the merrier. Y'all, we go in the house. We lock everything up. We feel good. We feel safe again. But at the same time, Jasmine was still like freaked out. So she's like got all the lights on. She's trying to check everywhere, anything. Like she was just really like bothered by the whole night. So I'm like, I couldn't blame her. So we go inside, we making hot cocoa, just trying to do things to make us feel better. Those scary movies was a dub. We didn't put on no more scary movies. I think we started watching like, what did we watch? I don't know, some type of comedy or something. And we put that on. We still smoked some trees until, everybody just kind of went into their respective places, went to sleep. Woke up the next morning. Sabrina actually got up and she made everybody breakfast. And we were all just chilling. We all was just like discussing the night before, like what even was that? Like that was just really crazy. Nick was like, yo, I really had a dream. He's like, I had a dream that like somebody, like these people came up out of the ground from the tree, like the root of the tree. He's like, how like it's got all of that space around the trees. Like I had a dream that people were coming up from the tree and those were the people that were like in the middle of the road and the people that was chasing us. And he was like, Ayanna, what you really said, like I don't think it was a person in that truck. Obviously, y'all, had to be a person in the truck, right? If you believe in like the paranormal and spirits and stuff like that, let me know, because y'all, it was just a weird experience to the point where I used to think, like, as years went on, I'm like, like I said, was it a figment of my imagination? But it couldn't have been, because other people, they were all with me seeing the same things. So y'all, fast forward, that weekend, went by. We go back to school. Y'all, go back to school. It's Monday. Me and Jasmine, we're at lunch, right? Why her sister and Nick come running up to us in the lunchroom, and we're like, what happened? What happened? They was like, yo, everybody's saying, like, it was all over, y'all. Like, I don't know, how you had hoaxes on Facebook and like what Instagram, Twitter, and whatever back then. I think it was more so Facebook though. And she said that same weekend, like I don't know if it was that same night or the next day or whatever, because like I said, I don't really remember which day was actually Halloween. But apparently this girl from like another neighboring town, she went to that tree and unalived herself at that tree by herself. Like they apparently said, like she drove out there, like they don't even know like what happened. They said her car wasn't found or nothing, but she unalived herself at the tree. I never found any articles or anything on it. Like I said, it probably was a hoax, but the fact that, I don't know, it was just creepy. It was crazy. But yeah, y'all, that was the story time of my weird, creepy, horror Halloween night. And like I said, comment down below and tell me if you guys are into like the paranormal, if you believe in like spirits and ghosts and, seeing things. Because sometimes, we see things that maybe aren't there, or we don't see things that are there. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Like I said, make sure to keep running those numbers up for me. Repost, reshare. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, it's a little late now, so I'm gonna see what time I'm gonna get this video up for y'all. But stay tuned, because like I said, I'm gonna have some other ones up for y'all for the rest of the week, because y'all been rocking with me. And I will see y'all in my next video. Peace.